Women who live alone, what do you keep in your home to feel safe? One night I had a nightmare so vivid of someone entering my apartment via my second-floor balcony that I found myself standing outside my bedroom door, disoriented and ready to fight. I had never felt unsafe in my apartment, but that dream really shook me and made me think I needed to be better prepared. I couldn't afford a security system, but I had a bunch of tiny bells left over from a craft project. I tied them at intervals along a long piece of string and hung it on the balcony door in a way that, if the door opened, it would make quite a bit of noise. Old school security alarm. My dog for tangible threats, and my cats for spiritual threats. After this guy hid behind a door and kept trying to find me in my building over 3 weeks. Never caught. I have 2 door jams, one for my main door and one for my bedroom door as a failsafe if he gets past the front door, to buy more time for emergency services to respond or to reorient myself with. Weapons I keep in my bedroom. You'll see in the pics the door jam was effective even when he shattered the door in half trying to gain entry. One night, my dog actually saved my life. He knew he was hiding behind the door and refused to let me pass and huffed a warning. I heard him breathing through the door grate and was able to rush through before he could slam the door on my dog. Hero dog tax. Since then he now huffs to alert me when men seem to be following me, and also makes a loud single bark if he hears someone at the front door. It's very helpful. I usually remember to lock the doors, but that's about it. I have a lot of strategically placed 3-wick jar candles. I don't actually burn them. They're there for pleasant scent and the fact that they can crack a skull. I had an incident many years ago, and as soon as you start lobbing those things, your target's gonna run. I used to keep a baseball bat with a sock on the end near my bed when I lived alone. It's to give you a second chance to swing if someone grabs the bat on your first swing. They'll be staring a rondo sock in their hand when you nail him in the balls or face. Thankfully, I never had to use it. I no longer live alone, but when my husband is out of town, I feel safe knowing that I know all of my neighbors well enough to run to their house at any hour, and they'd let me in. I also have 2 fierce guard dogs that bark anytime anyone gets near our house, me, my gat and my cat. I've lived alone in a downtown city and out of the city. What made me feel safe in the city was living in an apartment with a door that was inside a building rather than outside. Essentially, you had to have a key or passcode in order to get in, then keys to get in my apartment. However, I lived on the first floor, so I bought a door blocker and would put it behind my door as soon as I got home. I also have a baseball bat near my bed. I would sadly also have my blinds closed. Now, in my current place, I made sure I lived on the top floor and was a 2-door building. I still have a baseball bat, but I feel safer than when I lived downtown. I don't live alone anymore, but when I did, my dog made me feel safe. Edit to add that even living with someone, my dog is a great alarm and safety system. Red heart. When I lived alone in an apartment, I bought men's shoes from Goodwill and left them outside by the doormat so PPL didn't think I lived alone. That and my 22 made me feel safe. I no longer live alone, but when I did, I was very intentional about who knew where I lived and who I brought over. Current and ex-partners are far more likely to be dangerous than random strangers. Other than that, keeping doors and windows locked and alarmed doors when needed, and maintained a mantra that I've done all I could, and stressing beyond that was no more helpful than being at peace. Living in fear is a prison. I put dowels in the window sills. Lock all the doors. Bolt front door X2. Pepper spray in the bedside table. Sleep with my phone next to me. My 130 pounds doggy. Huge sweetheart unless he thinks you're threatening me. A dog. He's little and fluffy, but any dog deters break-ins because they make noise and get in the way. It also goes a long way to quiet that paranoid, "what if someone is hiding in the basement?" voice. Because I know he would smell an unusual person in the house. That. And honestly, I stopped watching crime shows. For as much as I loved detective stories, it took me way too long to put it together that maybe my anxiety of being raped and murdered could be related to watching TV shows all day where someone gets raped and murdered, then going for a drive and listening to a podcast about someone who got raped and murdered, then unwinding before bed with a murder mystery. I stick to sitcoms now and I'm in a much happier headspace. Doorbell camera. Blink. With echo show that can snap to a door view. A hockey stick at the top of the stairs. And a hammer by my bed. Rottweiler. Wasp spray on your nightstand. It sprays 50 feet. My dog. Large heavy spiky cacti around the windows. And this sounds silly, but I have these enormous heavy bookends with handle-looking things at the top. A baseball bat. Alexa can call emergency services. I read somewhere that someone attempting to break in will not spend more than 5 minutes getting in. Sadly, the point is to make your house less appealing and more trouble to break into than someone else's. Deadbolt on bedroom door and bathroom door. Bear spray and baseball bat.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Aircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.